Classic Roblox. I think it's fair to say if you clicked on this video, you have some sort of built-up nostalgia connection when it comes to the Roblox platform. Mine was staying up late on my mom's old crappy laptop and spending way too much time in prison life camping the guns and killing any prisoners who dared to get in my way. But as Roblox aged and modernized with the times, it started to feel as if the style and personality of the platform began to slowly disappear. Everything became more corporate, more greedy, more lewd. So today, I gathered a handful of nostalgic Roblox games from my past to truly answer the question, was old Roblox better?
Life is Roblox.
This is probably one of the more popular games on today's list, and I honestly don't get it. I know I'm gonna ruffle a few feathers by criticizing such a beloved game to so many people, but it's kinda just like a waiting sim. I will admit I have a pretty low attention span, so anything that's not flashing colors and constant movement honestly becomes a struggle to sit through, but keeping that in mind, the game's still mid. Sitting still and waiting for the disasters kinda sucks, and then like the disasters themselves are kinda just boring or stupid. Maybe it'd be more fun if I had Robux and could crank up the weather setting, but seeing as I'm broke, I didn't get to experience any of the zanier weather combinations. Straight into C tier, but I do admit it could just be my brain-rotted Family Guy funny moment, skibbity toilet mind that's truly just the issue at hand. Doomspire Brickbattle is a weird case, where the game's actually just kinda dead, except to an extent, it's not. It's just the original isn't that popular. But the Spanish knockoff version that downgrades everything is somehow still thriving to this day. And the newer, updated version made by yours truly, Polyhex the GOAT, somehow is more dead than the Spanish and original version. There are so many clones of this game that kinda just fail at being on the same level as the original, and it just reminds me how much I hate the Roblox platform. But for the sake of this video, I'll be focusing on the 2017 version, if that even is the oldest one out there. When I was a kid, I always found Doomspire Brickbattle kinda just boring after 2 rounds. For me, it was always just sneaking past their defense and going to the bottom floor and just placing bombs. But now that I've grown up and gotten just a tiny bit smarter, looking back at it, I was a dumb kid. Playing the game today made me realize there was a surprising amount of in-depth mechanics you could learn to get really good at this game. I saw some people do some crazy things and it made me realize the game was actually pretty fun. Now granted, although I'm older, I'm still that dumb kid at heart, so learning these skills took a long time, and there are still some that I still don't even know how to do. So props to the 9-year-olds out there who somehow figured out how to do this. But after learning my first trick, the game started becoming a lot more smooth. I was finding new ways to sneak into the towers, I was getting kills, and the controls that I once found clunky and outdated actually were low-key kinda sick. So for that, I'm putting it straight into A tier. I low-key do want to practice more to learn the stuff I couldn't get down in the amount of time I played, but I didn't have enough confidence in me revisiting it without being bored to call it a perfect S tier game. This game kinda blows, but it did make me realize that it'd be kinda peak if instead of a ballot system for our election, what if we just all picked a side then duked it out to the death? Straight into the bottom of C tier, at least the game works.
Ai, a carinha dele, mano. A carinha dele.
Here's a bit of a Timbo lore dump. Arsenal was one of the first games that kind of helped my channel pop off and get me to where I am today. Granted, it was nothing I was doing that got me there, but instead just a YouTuber who was live and had happened to stumble across my live stream and rated me. This is like the most live viewers I had ever had, like ever, and I was completely stunned.
No, we're at 100 viewers. We're at 100 consistent viewers. What? Oh my god.
I remember after that stream, I rushed to my parents and bragged and told everyone I was on the come up and everything was going to be different. I then immediately fell off. But the important thing is that short moment of fame gave me the inspiration to dedicate the next almost 4 years of my life to making mostly only Roblox content on this channel. I'm not going to say if I wasn't rated, I would have never been drawn to this game, but I can admit I wouldn't have had as much interest in it because I wouldn't have seen any return in my time. So thank you, Arsenal, and more importantly, thank you, Wakey. Yeah, the game's kind of boring. Don't get me wrong, I'm in no way saying Arsenal is a bad game, but like, there's a reason why every YouTuber jumped ship all at the same time. But this video isn't the downfall of Arsenal, so instead I want to focus on issues I have with the gameplay. One of the things that made Arsenal rise in popularity was just how easy it was to pick up. No recoil, no buying guns, just kind of clicking and learning the movement tech. But after playing this game for like a year, you come to realize there's nothing more to do in this game. Everyone picks the same game modes, same team setups, and it's just a constant cycle. And since the game has no skill curve, it's like I could just play any other game and have a more enjoyable use of my time. But I can't admit, the game's still very high quality, but it's just no longer for me. So for that, I'll give it a low B tier. Whenever I'm completely bored out of my mind and I happen to stumble across it on the front page, I'll play it just to get a small dopamine hit.
Black Ops. Put me in phase.
That would still be a solid.
Put me in phase! Put me in phase! Actually, put me in phase.
Phantom Forces is objectively one of the best shooters on Roblox, but similar to Arsenal's case where the thing that killed it was its gameplay, Phantom Forces just became way too sweaty for me to keep playing. If I took the smallest break and tried to pick it back up, I'd get curb stomped instantly, which just made the game unfun to play, stream, or make content on. But I do remember having a long period of time where this was one of my favorite shooters out there, and I spent way too much time gambling and opening up crates to get all the knives and skins I wanted. So for that, I'll give it a low B tier, but just right above Arsenal. Murder Mystery 2 is a weird case for me. I think it has something to do with that silly little low attention span of mine, but this game can go from to dang it. My enjoyment is heavily based on what role I get. As sheriff or murderer, I have stakes in the game. I have to be more careful not to get caught. But as innocent, I'm kind of just filler who's just gathering coins to try and have a chance to buy one of the way too expensive items in the shop. I will admit, the fear I get when I'm hiding and all alone, but I hear the murderer getting closer and closer with each kill does make the game a little more fun to play. And with friends, this game can be a blast for like 3 rounds. So for that, I'll put it in a very low A tier, because it's way too easy to get a lobby running with your friends, and the disguise game mode is actually a lot. Epic Minigames is actually pretty good. It's nothing revolutionary nowadays, but as a kid, I enjoyed all the different and unique minigames that were just available for free. The gameplay still kind of holds up if you ignore some of the clutter, but I ran a little 40-minute session with my friends and we had a lot of fun. I'll put it in B tier for now. I highly suggest getting a group of up to 12 friends and just loading up the party mode for an hour or so.
As a child, I yearned for the mines.
Gonna be completely honest, I don't have much to say about this game. I just wanted to show off some of the stuff I grinded for as a kid and feel good about myself. I remember treating Mining Simulator like it was a 9 to 5 when I was younger. I even tried making some stupid nostalgia gameplay video, and it's one of the only videos I actually unlisted from embarrassment. Going into C tier.
Pirates on the boat, boat, hey. Pirates on the boat, boat, hey.
This game came out in 2016. It's been 7 years since Build-A-Boat was released, and it's currently at like 16k players on a school day. That's insane to me. As a kid, I never really got into the game that much because I found it kind of boring and I never had friends who wanted to play it with me. So for this video, I decided to ask my wonderful girlfriend if they wanted to try it out with me, and we both quickly kind of got addicted. They have a huge Minecraft obsession, so any game where you can build is an immediate W for them. And for me, I just like building things and being creative. So this game allows me to come up with genius ideas and structures to get past the worlds. And the building system is really in-depth and your options are limitless. We barely got the propellers working, but it kept our brain constantly stimulated and thinking. And for the gamblers out there, the crate system is also a really nice touch and doesn't really feel predatory or money hungry. Me and Ghost had a blast, and this game is easily an S tier.
Guess who's going to jail tonight? Guess who's going to jail tonight? God's gonna post some.
This game is pretty much unplayable. I tried enjoying myself for 30 minutes and I couldn't. Every server always had an exploiter and it just ruined the fun. And if I'm being completely honest, this game was a nothing burger anyway. You just sit and camp the police spawn, or you escape, grab a gun, and then come back to the prison to camp the police spawn. Straight into F tier. I hate this game and I don't even get how I enjoyed it as a kid.
Man, this is an unbelievable thing, man. Like hey, everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
This is another trash game that's going straight into F tier. No one even truly plays this game for the meep. They do it to dress up and e-date. You think I'm lying? I asked around and I always got the same answer. As soon as I got in, I realized I didn't want to spend a single second trying to even get into the game. If you're sad I rated this pile of trash F tier, this game fixes a lot of the issues I have with the natural disaster simulator. It keeps me constantly moving, it balances a fair level of difficulty while not being unfair, and it has a killer soundtrack. If I knew it wouldn't flop on arrival, I wish Polyhex could make their own natural disaster clone, because I know it would just be a great experience. I love the perk system and the abilities I can unlock to keep the game fresh and fun. I didn't ever play this game as a kid, but after growing up, it became a fun game to play with my friends whenever we got bored and needed some time to kill. Easily an A tier experience. You definitely need to try it if you enjoy natural disaster sim. As a kid, I was never too into the complex tycoons that much. They required me to use a bit more brain power than I actually had, so instead I just played other games on the front page. But Theme Park Tycoons one, I do remember trying at one point. I found out about the game from Dennis's old series on it, and I started playing it, got pretty into it, and by pretty into it, I put down 3 roller coasters, a food stand, and the actual roller coaster I tried making didn't even work. So instead, I spent my time fiddling around in this one guy's amusement park that was extremely impressive, by the way. Overall, I'm too dumb to put in the time to actually try starting and building up my own theme park, better yet a roller coaster. But if you want to, there are obviously the tools to do it. I give the game an A tier because it's high quality, works well, and although I don't get it, still appreciate everything they have to offer. I like this game. I like it a lot. I highly recommend it to anyone who can gather up a group of 5 friends, because I think with the right group, Flee Facility's a ball. If you happen to love Dead by Daylight or any sort of horror game, I think this game is definitely worth giving a shot, because the public lobbies are always funny, because 95% of the time it's just bullying little children. The game holds up well today, except it still has some unfinished mechanics, but besides from that, solid B tier. I don't know if it's just me, but like, holy, I can't play this game. Whether it be the slow walk speed, clutter UI, or long wait times and ugly maps, I just don't like it. I can admit as the video progressed, I got more and more burnt out on Roblox, but like, this game is just not fun. I like this one. I remembered Flood Escape 1 being really fun as a kid, but I sucked at the parkour, so I never played it that often. Revisiting it, I was completely right. The soundtrack's better, the maps look better, which is ironic because this is the older one, and the game's harder. Everything here works leagues better than whatever they did over there. If I had to rate them both, Flood Escape 1 in the low B tier and the second one straight in the C tier. This game is actually pretty nostalgic for me. It introduced me to a lot of internet culture at the time. It was here I found out about the Peanut Butter Jelly song, ASDF movie, and The Conjuring. For the time, this stuff was really funny to me as a kid. Nowadays, it didn't really age the best, with a lot of memes being very outdated and old, but that doesn't ruin the game for me. Must be like the nostalgic factor of having my own little time machine to look back on everything I used to find enjoyable as a kid. I enjoyed myself for the time I played, but to be honest, although the game had a huge impact on me, I don't see myself picking it up again anytime soon. Straight into B tier. This is the Roblox game I have the most nostalgia for. Out of all the games, I've sunk the most hours into this one. I remembered as a kid, I'd spend like 2 hours every day trying to beat that stupid ice cream level. I have all of the themes stuck in my brain, and the first 3 levels are like core memories to me. Revisiting the game again today, a lot have changed. Like a lot. But pushing some overly greedy marketing schemes aside, the game's still a blast. I decided to skip past all of the old levels and instead play the newer ones they added to the end of the first world, and honestly, they're pretty good. I do have to question though why they felt the need to add these to the base world that was already finished. Like, I get they wanted to show off the new designs and builds, which look wonderful by the way, but they just don't fit the aesthetic of the old levels that they're grouped with. Plus, it was a complete difficulty spike because the rounded edges make landing finicky and just funky. But aside from that, Speedrun 4 will always be a classic, easily an S tier game.
Hey, yo, the pizza here.
Work at a pizza place is the grandfather of classic Roblox games. It's one of the oldest games on the list, releasing in the glorious year of 2008. This game is surprisingly older than me. And it's also the one probably everyone here at least has one memory of playing as a kid. And not to mention, it's the game I put in the thumbnail, so it's fair to say going into this I had extremely high expectations for my time. I was disappointed at first. Let me cook. See what I did there?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Going into the game originally, the oldest memory I had were how crazy the house parties were. So I was like, when I revisit it, I should instead focus on the cool new voice chat servers and Party Island. So I did just that, but I had a terrible time. Hey man, is this the pizza job? I tried everything I could to make this game fun. I tried forcing a bit with this random kid I met. Following you. I tried screaming at random people. None of that could save this game. And not to mention, Party Island is a fever dream. So originally, this script was going to look a lot more harsh and hateful, but then I dropped the video and took a 1-month break from Roblox and YouTube, and when I came back, I was like, I don't really like this script, let me replay the game and rework it a bit. So I did exactly that, and thank God I did. Instead of trying to force my little antisocial self to get out there and talk to those thugs,
shut up, like why are you yapping? Nobody cares about what you have to say, bro.
I instead just played the game how it was meant to, and the gameplay loop was really addicting. Like, it balances the right level of brain turn off the most complicated tycoons lose me at, while not being too brain dead to where I'm just sitting there watching a dropper drop a cube into a hole. Like, I was unironically locked in shouting at children because they were messing up during a rush hour. I'm extremely lazy, but this game made me unironically question if I wanted to drop YouTube and go work a 9 to 5 at Domino's. Good job, Work at a Pizza Place. For that, I give you a glorious S tier. I really enjoyed the game. There was clearly a sense of replayability and grinding that could be done to make your house look pretty in the way you want it to. And for the social butterflies out there, you have your voice chat servers and Party Island. This concludes my review of exactly 19 classic Roblox games and also pick a side. Looking back at the list, a lot of these games were kind of mid and really shallow, which isn't to discredit the developers because in order for these games to be considered nostalgic, they would have had to been good in the first place. But I think the reason these games feel so bland now is because Roblox as a platform has truly grown, which sounds so wrong to say because most Roblox YouTubers and players want you to believe that all the platform is garbage and gooning, which to an extent isn't wrong. But I think it falls in the hands of us, the player base, to take our time in Robux and actually go out there and find underrated, deserving developers and give them our attention and money. And if we get enough people, we can probably start a movement and we can truly shake up the platform for good and show Roblox we want our front pages filled to the brim with indie classics and not AI slop money stealers.
Okay, but what about fish?